man, so Bitcoin breaks through $30,000 after a major pump as predicted in yesterday's video. You remember yesterday, I made the video saying I'm going all in right now because I knew there was an explosive move which was imminent. I did not expect it, in all fairness, to happen literally hours after I posted this video. A huge move from Bitcoin, an impressive one, finally breaking through that tough 29,000 level mark here at the green line, but then it also took the momentum to run through 30 momentarily as well. In this video, we're going to break down, is it a trap? Is this move sustainable? What are the price targets I'm now looking at? Plus, there's one chart, a secret breakout, which nobody is talking about, which we're going to get into as well. Smash some likes. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. First and foremost, let's appreciate the move we have had here on Bitcoin. I said yesterday, guys, we need to be patient, right? We've had such a huge move up here on Bitcoin. We should be grateful that this consolidation was happening on an all but gradual, slight upward trend. And we had that. We had this nice ascending channel here on Bitcoin. And this is what we were complaining about. This is what people were complaining about after a crazy move here from 19.5k all the way up to 29. People were moaning that we were consolidating here, but you've got to be patient. This is called building scaffolding. When the price action creates scaffolding, it's a good thing. Now, in fact, I'm going to sound like a little bit of a fussy bugger, because what I'm actually going to say is I'm actually a little bit disappointed we didn't get a further pullback. Because if you look at this daily chart and you look at the EMA ribbon, we didn't actually test our EMA ribbon. If you look at it, we ran towards our EMA ribbon, and exactly as predicted, we got a big candlestick pushing us straight back. This shows that there is a lot of momentum with bulls right now. And we spoke yesterday about some of the on-chain metrics as well. You saw that the spend output profit ratio ticked into the positive territory here, just above my head. You can see it here, ticking back into positive territory. This is a huge sign for an impending bull market. It's predicted previous bull markets perfectly. So we knew there was going to be an explosive move coming up, and it was clear that 29,000 was that level that the bears wanted to protect. Now, I don't think this battle is quite over yet, because the resistance level is not just 29k. Yes, 29k was that level that the bulls are trying to hold right now, but we also have to look to that 30-31 region as well. And what I want to show you more importantly is the cluster. So if you see, this is the cluster where we're fighting here. The real cluster from when we fell on the way, always look at when you fell to the downside. You can see that this cluster resistance, let's just get zoomed in here so we can see it, really is characterized by about 28.2 all the way up to the top here at about 32. So expect this whole region to provide resistance. And don't just think, oh, because we've broken through it now, off we go. No, there can be a lot of resistance around these levels, and we will be looking out for those as well. Short term, looking here at the hourly chart, do not be surprised to see a pullback, right? You get a lot of people FOMOing in over the last kind of 18 to 20 hours. A lot of people talking about Bitcoin. They're jumping back into their exchanges and, oh, I'm going to FOMO, Bitcoin's going to 60,000, and they're going to be jumping into their trade. So do be patient. We could see a pullback, and even a retest here of 29,000 is perfectly normal. A pullback into that 29k level, because it was such a tough resistance level, we tried to break it so many times. So when you finally do break it, there's nothing wrong with seeing something like this, which is where it curls over a little bit, comes back down, takes the opportunity to retest the EMA ribbon, maybe doesn't touch 29 exactly, and then it goes and tries to carry on its move to consolidate above 30. And then same again for 30, right? You want to see it retest 30. So you want it to go up to 31, touch 31, come back down, retest 30, and then keep going upwards and onwards like that. That is a nice, healthy way of doing it. The problem is, if we keep having exponential moves, like if now Bitcoin just decides to go straight into 31 and then straight into 32 without any pullbacks, that's going to create a lot of FOMO and a lot of greed. So what I use as a methodology during such difficult times is I do not want to chase green candles. Sometimes it feels like a pullback is never going to come, but a pullback is always around the corner. So just be patient. Now, if of course you're new to crypto and you've never accumulated before, then you need to be asking yourself, okay, what's my conviction? Where do I think this Bitcoin thing is going? Because the reality is, if you think Bitcoin's going to go to all-time highs at about 69,000, then why are you squabbling about whether Bitcoin is 29 or 30 or even 31 for that matter? Does it really matter? You're looking at a doubling plus of your money. Then on top of that, if your conviction is that Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000, 150, 200,000, if you're holding for 5, 10 years and you want this to go to 1 million plus, then does it really matter where you're buying right now? As long as you are buying at the start of a bull market. And this is what we're seeing now. We've all but confirmed that the bottom was in, we're starting our bull market, and this is now major strength here on Bitcoin. So where can these price targets take us? Well, the first thing is, remember this ascending broadening wedge which never really got invalidated? Well, look what happened. We broke to the upside, we spent all this time riding the top trend line, and now it's trying to continue to play out towards its price target. And remember, that price target was sitting here at 33,000 here on Bitcoin. So that's one price target we can look at. The other price target we can look at was this breakout. Remember this channel which we were forming, right? Well, you can also take the measured move of this channel. Let's take this measured move. Let's put it here, let's apply it to the point of breakout, and you can see that this gives your price target up towards 34,000, so not too dissimilar. Another target, let's also take a look at this channel, right? Now there's a few different ways to take the price target of a bull flag channel like this. We can take the conservative approach, which is the latest swing move. Let's take that one, and let's apply that to the bottom of the channel. This is being very conservative, and that brings you into the 31 region. But here's where things get crazy. Let's take a little bit more of an aggressive target, right? Let's take this full swing, because you can technically take this full swing from 19,000. Again, let's apply that at the point of breakout, and let's see and reveal what price target this gives you, and it gives it up to 36,000 here on Bitcoin. So I'm very confident that we could be seeing a nice big move here on Bitcoin. The question that remains is, are we going to get a little bit of a pullback? I think it's perfectly fine if we get a pullback into 29, retest that level, build some support. You don't want to lose 29 again. If we lose 29 again, then you start saying, okay, could we be going to 27, 26 for some more major support? But right now where we're sitting, the most important level is, are we going to retest 29 and then break above 30? Because currently where we're sitting above 30 right now is quite weak, right? We need to build some strength. If it needs to dip down into 29 first, then break through 30 with strength, and then we can hold 30 thereafter. Now, it's also important to zoom out. And when you zoom out here on the weekly, it's just another solid week here for Bitcoin. If we can maintain this week, it's still early in the week, but if we can maintain this candlestick and progress from here, that's going to be a really powerful week after 3 doji candles. Remember, we were speaking about this. Big candle, 3 weeks of boringness, right? People complain, they whine, and then boom, Bitcoin comes. This is the habit that Bitcoin has. When you doubt Bitcoin, that's when Bitcoin delivers. So just one thing, just stop doubting Bitcoin. If you don't believe in it, just stop watching content and just ignore Bitcoin if you want, but just don't doubt it. When you doubt it, that is where it's gonna rise like a phoenix. So again, we pointed this out a couple of days ago. Look for the crossing of this EMA ribbon. It's really starting to cross as we move right now. So over the next couple of weeks, this really is gonna flip, and that's always indicated a big, powerful move historically when this has flipped. But now I need to talk about something really, really important that has just happened, which a lot of people are overlooking, and this is sitting on the Bitcoin dominance chart. If you guys have been following crypto, chances are a lot of you have a lot of altcoins. Now, you guys know I'm a big proponent of eating your veg, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, make sure you never neglect those two. And this is the reason you do not neglect those. Bitcoin dominance really does start to move. If you are studying Bitcoin versus a select handful of alts, on average, Bitcoin is outperformed by 22% here over the last 22 weeks, which is very, very important that you notice that, and therefore you have a balanced portfolio. Now, this doesn't mean that altcoin season will not come. It will come, and when it comes, it's going to upset the Bitcoin maximalists, because altcoins will have their moment. That's an absolute fact. But what we have just seen is a very important weekly candle break a key level here. This resistance at 48% on the Bitcoin dominance has been rejected many times ever since the summer of 2021. This is a very long time that we've been rejected by this 48% line. Finally, you're now seeing a breakout. And now what this means is that Bitcoin now has clearance to go to the next resistance level at 52%. Now, this could mean another powerful leg for Bitcoin, but likely that altcoins are still going to be lagging behind it. Now, in my mind, this is not an issue, because for whatever Bitcoin wants to do, for me, Bitcoin is like a pacemaker. It sets the pace for the altcoins to fill the space behind Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin wants to go ahead and go on a crazy move, I have absolutely no worries or qualms about that. That's perfectly healthy. I want money to flow into Bitcoin, because I know that eventually, whether we have to wait 6 months, whether you have to wait a year, or however long you have to wait, Bitcoin money always flows into Ethereum, always flows into layer 1 solutions, always flows into low cap altcoins, and then gaming tokens and NFTs and whatever is the next thing, real world assets that's going to play out in the next bull market. That's just a matter of fact. So for now, I'm not too worried about this whatsoever. If it wants to build some strength, if Bitcoin wants to continue to set the pace, absolutely fine. And look, historically, if you zoom out, Bitcoin dominance has been at these levels before. It's been past 52%. We're here, right? We're trying to work our way up towards 52%. Well, Bitcoin is trying to. Then you got 59% as the next level of resistance. Then you got 71. So if you go back here, November 2020, Bitcoin dominance was sitting at this level. It touched that level previously. So this isn't uncharted territory or anything out of the norm. It's perfectly fine. So any Bitcoin maximalist who's making this out more than it needs to be, they don't need to. It's just perfectly good and perfectly normal. Bitcoin's running, it's setting the pace, and that is fantastic and a great way of signaling that we're starting our next bull market. And then I want to talk about, some of the perma bears, right? Because we need to discuss this. Because there are so many perma bears out there, just like the perma bulls. I call them sensationalists, right? They're sensationalists that just want to make a living or make a name for themselves by shouting out random numbers, either to the top side or either to the bottom side. There are so many people over the last 24 hours who are making videos, so they're getting loads of views saying Bitcoin's going to $100,000 like in the next few weeks, right? Because it's easy to do that on a day that Bitcoin is pumping. Similarly, when Bitcoin's having a red day, it's so easy to build a following on Twitter or YouTube saying that Bitcoin's going to go to $5,000, right? It pays to be sensationalist, but it did not pay you. And that's the problem right now. If you are following an influencer that was telling you this is going to go lower, this is going to go lower, this is going to go lower, Bitcoin has moved here from 15,500 up to 30,000. So regardless of what that person says and whether there's a pullback in the future, you've missed gaining 100% on your money. More importantly, you've missed the education of not listening to those people and making your own conclusions and following the data. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to participate in this rally, and then if things change and the data showing you that it's bearish again, to then react to that as well. Now I'm going to come on to one thing that could throw a spanner in the work, but before I do that, I need to show you this weekly EMA ribbon because it's important in understanding the psychology of how we moved from bear market into what is now the start and the early stages of what will promise to be a powerful bull market. Now we've got to go back out and understand what happened. When we flipped our weekly EMA ribbon here bearish, this was the start of the bear market. We flipped our weekly EMA bearish, we were below, the EMA ribbon flipped and we're like, uh-oh, this is painful. And we went into our bear market, which started trying to bottom out in this period. Of course, we then had Terra Luna in June, you then had FTX later in the year as well, and this created a whole bunch of tumultuous times which led Bitcoin to ultimately fall down to 15,500. Great, so we were sat there, we knew what was what at the end of 2022 and it was a painful, painful year. Then Bitcoin started its rally, and through this rally, what did I coach you guys into doing? I said, guys, this is a bear market rally. It's a bear market rally if and until we reclaim our weekly EMA ribbon. Did I not say that? So as we run into here, I said, guys, calm down. And then we had 2 bad weeks. We ran into here. I said, guys, still calm down. It's not confirmed yet. The bears still have strength. And it came back down. Okay? So this is where you got to be careful because a lot of people are getting wrecked here. Remember, this liquidated people because it fell all the way back down to 19.5. And then from 19.5, the week after, we reclaimed our EMA ribbon. And this was the critical candle. And we made videos about that saying, guys, this is now a critical change because we closed above our weekly EMA ribbon. This could be now the start of our weekly EMA ribbon flipping to the bullish side and indicating a bull run. Now, of course, you've got to be careful of situations like this, which is where you close above it and quickly you get thrown back below. This is why, as boring as the last 3 weeks have been, they were critically important. They were critically important because the bears could not do this. They tried to. They could not throw us straight back below our EMA ribbon to continue the bear market. And therefore, that said, look, the bulls are ready. We've held a trend here. We consolidated. And now you're seeing the next move. Okay? Now, in the next set of weeks, it's perfectly fine for Bitcoin to want to retest. I actually have no issues from a structural point of view if Bitcoin wants to retest the EMA ribbon, bounce from it, and head onwards. That I know it won't be fun, but again, structurally, it's not an issue to retest your EMA ribbon. And the EMA ribbon sits here, let's just check the exact level here, at 25.7. So even if Bitcoin wanted to come down over the next couple of weeks due to CPI, which I'm going to come on to shortly, it's not the end of the world. That's perfectly fine. But I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready to enjoy this next bull run. If we do get pullbacks, I will add to my bags. But like I've said to you, since 15,500, I'm in this market. I'm in this market. I wouldn't want to be out of this market. Even if it was a relief rally and this did come back to the downside, it would have been worth it for me to be in the market. And that's where your psychology starts to play tricks on you and the perma bears just struggle to ever get back into the market, right? And that's the problem with being a perma bear. Right, with that aside, we've now got a very important reading tomorrow, which is the CPI reading. Remember, we will be looking out for the CPI reading. I will be covering it off with you. Make sure you're subscribed. The markets have very strict expectations of this. Month on month, they're looking at 0.3 versus 0.4. And also, on the year over year, they're looking at 5.2 versus 6. So a big drop they're expecting in inflation. Remember, this misses, markets will be upset. That said, going into this, markets are 70% now pricing in that we're going to get 25 base points at the next meeting, and they're hoping that after that we're pretty much done. So 70% are expecting 25 base points at the next meeting, and then the meeting after that on June, the majority of the market here, 67% here, are saying we'll stop there at 5 to 5.25 on the target Fed funds rate. So tomorrow could be the catalyst. If we get a bad CPI reading, it could stop our momentary bull run. Fear and greed index is sitting at 68. Remember, when this market gets greedy, guys, stay patient. Do not chase green candles. Now is not the time to do that. You did have plenty of time to be accumulating. Now is not the time to be doing that. So if you're just trying to FOMO in right now, check yourself, be patient. A pullback is always around the corner. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.